It's 17:30 GMT. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. I am Umaru Sanda Amadou. Tonight, I'm here with
Hawa Idrisu Mustafa.
And coming up over the next 90 minutes.
The EC must answer the 35 questions posed by the NDC on the stolen biometric equipment. And the EC has no option but to allow our agents to record the serial numbers.
Opposition NDC accuses the Electoral Commission of planning to illegally register voters using the missing BVRs, the biometric verification devices, which have been declared as missing. We'll be hearing from the EC in response to that. Also coming up, one person injured following clashes between the two major political parties at the EC's registration center in Cape Coast in the Central Region. We'll be hearing more on that. And later on Eyewitness News.
Vice Pastor Ignatius Bafuwa, and also the Oyo candidate.
As Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia continues the hunt for a running mate, we hear from the Domahini who is asking Dr. Bawumia to look to the Bono region or lose their votes. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and many other stories on Eyewitness News. And in business,
if you are wondering which bank offers the lowest interest rate on loans for individuals, we'll bring you more from the BOG's annualized percentage of financial institutions.
That's in 15 minutes from the Citi Business Desk. You want to stay tuned in and listen to that very, very, very important piece of information that's coming through from the Citi Business Desk. Stay with us on 97.3 Citi FM. We are broadcasting around the globe via citynewsroom.com. We are on YouTube. You can look for CityTube, and on affiliate stations across Ghana. We are on SCAP 101.3 FM in Nakpanduri in the Northeast region. We are also on Source 100.1 FM.
Is insisting that the Electoral Commission permits its agent to document the serial numbers of the biometric voter registration kit being used for the ongoing limited voter registration exercise. The party has said that disclosing the serial numbers is necessary, particularly in light of reported missing BVR kit at the EC headquarters. During a press conference in Accra, NDC Chairman Johnson Esedu Nketia stressed that if the EC has nothing to conceal, it should allow its agent to record the serial numbers.
The question is, what does the EC have to hide? What is their fear over the mere recording of the serial been stolen under your watch? Some have been stolen under your watch. We say, let us track and protect those that are yet to be stolen. And you are resisting. Are you not part of the thieves? Is there something they are hiding from the public? Will our precautionary measure not prevent the criminals who stole the BVR kits from using them to illegally register people? If the EC has nothing to hide, they should just allow all willing political parties to record the serial numbers of BVR kits during this limited voter registration exercise. Friends from the media, on election day, serial numbers of biometric verification devices are recorded on the statement of pool, commonly called pin sheets. Is that not the case? Agents of political parties have access to the serial numbers of BVDs. So why stop the recording of serial numbers of BVR kits? Those who may not understand this, the biometric voter registration kit is what is being used now to capture the data of persons of registrable age. In other words, to help us compile the voters' register. During election, in order to ensure that the same people who were registered are the very people who will be voting, we upload these registers onto the BVD, biometric verification devices. the data that is being captured with the BVRs is uploaded onto the BVDs and taken to the polling stations where their particulars are used to verify whether they are the same people who were registered on that day. Now, we are allowed access to the serial numbers of the biometric verification devices that are used in the conduct of the elections at the polling stations. If we are saying that, let us now identify the kits that are used to capture the register in the first place, and you say no. What it means is that you alone will determine which people to capture, which machines to be used, and nobody can track it. So you can add names there. And once the names are already inside, when you upload them onto the verification kits, and the people turn out to vote, even if they come as Togolese or Burkinabes or Ivorians, the law does not prevent them from voting.
So that's Johnson Asidun Ketia, National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress. Now, the Electoral Commission has issued a statement in response to that particular statement that was made by the chairman. Let me read part of it. It says that releasing these serial numbers, in fact, it says that the Commission wishes to highlight that the integrity and security of our electoral process is paramount. Each BVR kit, as a critical component of this process, is assigned a unique serial number. This number plays a crucial role in operation of these devices, particularly in the generation of activation codes essential for their functionality, as well as tracking their location and movement. Releasing these serial numbers to any external parties, including political entities, poses a substantial risk to the security and integrity of our registration process. That is why this has never been done since biometric voting system was introduced in Ghana. The specific risks are as follows. 1. Compromise of kit security. 2. Targeted manipulation risks. 3. Phishing and fraud. 4. Operational integrity. And 5, it concludes by saying, capacity to do so effectively and impartially. We urge all of political parties to cooperate with the Commission to administer the electoral processes without undue interference. Election 2024, your vote, your future. Signed, Mr. Michael Boedu, Acting Director in charge of Public Affairs. Let's go back to the NDC now. The party called a press conference making the request for serial numbers among other issues. The EC has simply said that will not be done because that has never been done. Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer is Deputy Director of Elections in charge of IT. In fact, Deputy Director in charge of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress. He's joining us on the line. Doc, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you, Sandra. How are you?
I'm well, thank you. Except that the EC says that what you are asking for is unheard of. It has never happened before where serial numbers are released to political parties or any other groupings whatsoever, and that it poses a security risk to our whole election system. What do you say to that?
Yes, it has never happened because at the time we never asked for it because BVRs were never stolen at the Electoral Commission. Since the inception of DVDs and BVR, from Afarjam up to Charlotte Osei, we've never had an occasion where we had to battle with stolen BVRs and BVDs. But for the first time, this thing has happened. So we should also be asking for the serial numbers.
Okay, but the EC says that the integrity of the electoral process will be compromised if these devices are given to you. He goes to explain, the statement from the EC explains in detail why this is a security risk. In fact, I have highlighted that for my listeners. I'll just emphasize it again. There are 5 points that they raised. They say 1, it compromises the kit security. 2, there will be manipulation, possibility of targeted manipulation. 3, phishing and fraud. operational integrity. These are the reasons that they will not give you the serial numbers as you request.
Sandra, this electoral commission and its commissioners are economical with the truth. They've never told Ghanaians the truth, even once. Do you remember when they said the 5 laptops got missing, part of the BVR? They went further to say that even if people want to use it, they need this an activation code. You remember that one?
Yes, continue.
You remember, they said that you needed an activation code in order to use those BVR.
They said there was no cause for alarm.
So there was no cause for alarm. So it means that the serial numbers are not even important to them. The one which is important to them is the activation code. If you follow their logic, that is what they are telling us. So people have stolen BVRs, no problem, because there are no activation code for them. But now, you have not given an activation code. We are not even asking for activation codes. We are only asking for the serial number of the machine. And it's a problem to them. You remember that the one who stole the DVRs went through security cameras, and yet nobody could arrest him. There are security cameras, the CCTV cameras could not even capture them. Who knows that they would have taken all the serial numbers of the DVDs that they couldn't carry away, but they took the numbers, because since the camera could not capture them, they would have been taking the numbers plus the fact they've run away with. And so, if their cameras could not capture those thieves, invariably, it tells us that the thieves is within. And therefore, the thieves could also get the verification code that they look for in order to activate it. They're going to do illegal things. So give away the serial numbers, so it's a problem.
Why do you need the serial numbers? Because they say, for instance, that serial numbers could be used to facilitate fraudulent activities, including phishing attacks, where a criminal with a serial number can trick EC personnel into believing they are registering officials, potentially leading to unauthorized disclosures and access to sensitive information. Why do you need this as a party?
It means the people they recruited, they don't even trust them. That is what they are telling us. They don't even trust the people they recruited to man their registration centers. That is what they are telling Ghanaians. And secondly, what are they talking about? What do they have to hide? Don't you know that during election time, they give us the serial numbers of BVDs? The one we even use to vote. They give us the numbers. The serial numbers are given to us, and they are written onto the thing sheet. There is a column where you have to write the serial numbers of the thing sheet, the BVDs. So how come when it comes to the DVR, you don't want to give the serial numbers? What are they going to hide? It's like they have something to hide. I don't know their problem. But you will give me the serial number, and that one is a hell.
Because you haven't said why you need it. Okay, why do you need it?
Why we need it? Because some BVRs were stolen. Up to now, they cannot be found. They cannot be found. So if they cannot be found, and the people are keeping them somewhere, and yet the BVR has been deployed for registration, I want to know which BVR is registering who. So that I know this number, this kid you have given me, this is the serial number. These are the number of people it has registered for the day. If you bring another number outside the serial number of the DVD, we won't accept it. Simple logic. Not simple. This one is that you don't even need to go to T1 ICT to know this. Every BVR had a serial number, and it should generate the number from it. The number is the number of people who are registered a day from that machine. If you go and bring different data outside from that serial number, we will accept. And that is what they know we are targeting that one. They want to do an illegality, and that's why they want to run away from this.
There's a part of the statement of EC that I think I should read in whole to help make sense of their response to you in relation to the BVRs, because they've talked about some stopgap measures or some gatekeeping mechanisms that have been deployed over the years, which mechanisms they believe would protect the integrity of the election, and there's no need for you to have BVR serial numbers. So they say that while disclosure of serial numbers of BVRs has never been done, it is essential for the general public to recognize the following measures of transparency and accountability that characterize our registration process and which are enshrined in law. 1. Gazetted centers. All voter registration centers are officially gazetted, and all political parties and other stakeholders have access to this information, allowing them to track accurately and transparently registered voters from each registration center. 2. Polling agent oversight. Political parties have polling agents present in all registration centers. 3. Detailed reporting. The Commission provides start of day and end of day reports detailing the number of persons registered at each registration center. 4. Provisional register. All political parties receive a copy of the provisional register prior to the voters' register exhibition to enable them scrutinize the provisional register and to identify any issues that they want to raise during the exhibition. 5. Final register. All political parties receive a copy of the final register and can still raise any issues they have with the commission. And finally, participation in DRRC process. All political parties are actively involved in the district registration review committees established in each district to examine challenges related to the registration of voters in the district. This is what the EC has outlined as some of the measures that have been put in place even after registration. So you're crying wolf where there is none. Simply, that's what they're saying.
Sander, then we don't need biometric registration. If you have all these things, why do we need biometric registration again? If you have all these things put together, which we have been using, all these things you have mentioned, since Afarijan era, from 92, I've participated in the electoral process up to now. We have been doing all these things you are talking of. Then we decided to go biometric again. All these things you have mentioned, these things existed, yet we say we still need biometric. And even the biometric registration, they still put another layer. They need code. You know that today, even registering offline, they still need a code to go offline. And somebody has to give them the code from Accra. That is the problem we are talking about. The one who is generating the code is the one who presided over the stealing of the BVR. And the same person is telling us that he won't give it the serial numbers. Oh, brother, your guess is as good as mine. We will get it. That's why my national chairman says, no matter what it will take for us to get the serial number, we'll get it. In fact, we have even started getting them already.
But they will not give it to you, so you will steal it?
I said we are all Ghanaians. We are getting by the close of the year. I can assure you, almost all the DVRs will get it. As of yesterday, we even got 3/4 of them. They are just making noise out of them. We will get them.
How would you authenticate that against what they have? Perhaps you could be generating your own.
I don't know the same people telling them we are agents for that place. I wouldn't having our agents at that place. It's a machine, not a laptop, and other gadgets is in there. Can't I see it there? If I see a serial number on it, won't I know? Do I need this Jinmensa to come to Tamale or Kumasi or Atebu to tell me that this is a serial number of that BVT? I know it.
So you have told your agents to start collating serial numbers of the machines being used?
Yes, they should take them and collect the figures generating from that machine every day. And we are getting the figures. We are collecting them.
So that your point is that at the end of the registration, if any data comes that is not from these machines, you will not accept. Is that what you're saying?
We won't accept it over our dead body. We won't accept it.
Okay.
It won't happen.
All right. That's fine. Finally, is it your fear that these machines that are said to be missing, or these machines that are missing, for which reason there are some people standing trial or being prosecuted, these machines can be put under a neem tree somewhere and people be registered on the blind side of your party and other agents? Is that your suspicion?
Sandra, I need not to tell you anything. You should also know this. The man is telling us that the machines were stolen under CCTV camera. There is an ammo car parked at the electoral commission. Soldiers are there, police. None of them could even see all this thing. It has to take our minority in parliament to uncover this story and inform them. They didn't want Ghanaians to know this. Sometimes if a thief comes to your house to steal and your dog refuse to bark and allow the thief to take items and move, won't you suspect that the thief is a family member?
Or a friend of my dog?
Or a friend of your dog, of course. So you should know it. These are the things we are talking about. And now that they have even raised our suspicion more by saying that we won't give you the serial numbers. You see, they are even emboldening us to suspect them more.
Let's leave it here. Thank you so much for speaking to us.
The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
That's Dr. Rashid Tanko Computer. He's Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the National Democratic Congress. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We are coming to you from our studios in Adabraka in Accra. More when we come back. Please stay with us.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
In a world where only the best survives, you need a fuel that can match your drive. A fuel with unparalleled protection for your engine, superior efficiency, and unrivaled performance. A fuel so unbeatable, when you get behind the wheel, you'll focus on what really matters. The journey ahead. That fuel is Shell V-Power, because no other fuel gives your engine better protection, better efficiency, and better performance. Be unbeatable. Drive unbeatable. Shell V-Power. Shell, go well.
Are you a builder, contractor, or homeowner with a passion for quality? Look no further. At Yale, we pride ourselves in trusted security and quality hardware for doors. Visit our showroom on 11th Lane Street in Accra, Ghana, and discover the world of Yale door hardware handles and locks. At Yale, we understand your need for security and the desire for elegance. Our products not only protect your loved ones, but also add a touch of sophistication to your home or business. Whether you're renovating your space or crafting a new masterpiece, Yale is your trusted partner with a history of 180 years of innovation. Come on down to Yale today. Experience the perfect blend of security and style with Yale. Yale, where security meets style.
It's the 3i Africa Summit, where innovation, impact, and investment converge, where technology drives transformation. From the 13th to the 15th of May 2024, heads of state, central bank governors, thought leaders, innovators, investors, academics, and entrepreneurs will converge to unleash Africa's full potential. Discover the power of digital assets, explore the state of digital growth in Africa, and unveil lessons from Africa's central bank digital currency experiments. Engage in discussions on diversity in the creative arts and tech, financing Africa's SMEs, and bridging the digital gender gap. Network with investors, pitch your ideas, and access funding at the 3i Africa Deal Room and Pitchfest. Join us at the Accra International Conference Center as we ignite a fintech revolution for Africa's financial future. Visit 3iafrica.com to register now.
You know your papa see that? And it's rickety car. Hey, papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy. Can't touch this. Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz? No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer. Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency. Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that? Hey, sorry. Chairman Mane? Chairman. Hey, Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
You're welcome back. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM, broadcasting from number 11 Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka in Accra. I was not on Eyewitness News yesterday. Solomon was, and when he was signing out, he read a letter from the Chief of Staff at the Presidency addressed to the Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa, Suleimana Brahima. It had to do with a request that Suleimana Brahima and his Media Foundation for West Africa, as well as the Fourth Estate, made to the Presidency for a full disclosure of the KPMG report on the controversial SML contract that the Ghana Revenue Authority entered into. The Presidency responded and said, "We cannot give it to you because it will breach sections of the Right to Information Law," which is actually the law that Suleimana Brahima and his team were going under. He's joined us on the line now for a reaction. Sule, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you very much, Omar.
So we've seen that letter in the public domain. I don't know if you have been given a formal response. Do you have a copy yet? Has it been sent to you?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so what's your response?
Well, I think that it's clearly an indication of a lack of commitment to transparency on a significant matter of public interest that also borders on accountability on the part of the Presidency. And I think essentially what has happened is a misinterpretation of Section 5 of the RTI law, to decline what I believe is a matter of public interest. And I really cannot understand why the president would, or the presidency would have any challenge in releasing the report, given what has happened in terms of he communicating his decision on the report and giving directives on the report.
Okay, but the president's view is enshrined in law, isn't it? He quoted the necessary provisions in the Right to Information Law, Right to Information Act, for which reason you are not allowed to have that information. You cannot blame the presidency. You cannot accuse it of hiding anything when it's actually coming under the law.
Well, as I said earlier, I think it's just a misinterpretation of either deliberately or indeliberately a misrepresentation of that particular section that is referenced in the president's letter. Because I mean, if you read that particular section 5, all the provisions under that section, it clearly should tell you that the president is talking about a different thing altogether. Because under that section, we are talking about if a report is being prepared to be submitted to the president or has been submitted to the president for consideration. You know, that is the first part of it. So are we talking about a report that is yet to be submitted to the president? No. Are we talking about a report that has been submitted to the president but yet to have its consideration? No. We are talking about a report that has already been submitted to the president, and the president has done his consideration and deliberation and so on, and has come out to communicate, his decision on the same report. Now, if you go beyond that, it talks about, again, if the report contains matters, the disclosure of which will reveal information concerning opinion. The president has already disclosed, matters related to the report, or an advice, deliberation, recommendation, minutes, or consultations made, all given to the president or vice president, and it doesn't end there. And it says, if it is likely to undermine the deliberative processes on the part of the president or the vice president, or if it will prejudice national security. This is all that, that Section 5 is talking about. But like I said, we are not talking about a report yet to be submitted to the president. We are not talking about a report that the president is yet to consider. We are not talking about a report that the president has not already shared an opinion on it. We are not talking about a report that the president has not deliberated upon yet. And so on what basis do you go under this section to then say we cannot disclose the full report as we are told? So I just think that is a lack of commitment to transparency and certainly an abuse of that particular section of the RTI Act.
But they said that the portions that are relevant and necessary for the public consumption, they have put out. Everything else, the assumption would be then that whatever they have not put out is not meant to go out. And that's a position they keep hammering, actually, in that particular position that was espoused in the statement.
Well, no, I think what they say or consider as relevant portions, that is according to the president or the presidency. Why don't you give us the rest of it, which may not be relevant as far as the president is concerned? So that, okay, we can also look at the aspects that the president considered irrelevant. I think it's irrelevant. Why should there be a problem in disclosing it? And again, we are talking, if you look at subsection 2 of section 5, it talks about information which contains factual or statistical data is not exempt information. And we are talking about an audit report. I believe that we are talking about a factual report. We are talking about a report that contains data on what SNL may have done, the contract amount, the volumes, and so on and so forth. And if we look at section 17, it talks about when the matter is of public interest, then we cannot also hide under issues of exemption to deny the public what they are entitled. And I believe this is a matter of significant public interest. We are talking about a contract that involved a lot of legal breaches, a contract that was awarded, and for 2-3 years, the executioners of the contracts were operating illegally. They never got PPA approval. and subsequently got a PPA approval, and that one we don't even know whether it was under sole sourcing or competitive bidding, and it was at that time that a ratification was done for the previous illegalities that had been committed. And besides, we are talking about a contract that has cost this nation so far over 1 billion Ghana cedis. This certainly is a matter of significant public interest, a matter that Parliament has acted upon, a matter that the President himself commissioned an audit, a matter that has generated so much public interest and public controversy. So I don't know what is in the report that the President would want to hide from the general public. And that is why, for me, as I said, it is a lack of commitment towards accountability. And it's important to remind the President and the Presidency that it's not just enough to tout your credentials as the one whose government passed the RTI law. It is not just about the passage of a law. It is about the effect of the law. It is about compliance with the law. So what is the point in passing a law and saying, well, passing the law demonstrates your commitment to transparency and accountability when you are not prepared to oblige, or to comply with that same piece of legislation?
Are you going to write another request making your points the way you have made them, or you've just given up on the presidency?
No, I don't think that we can give up. We're at a point in our nation where public interest advocacy just has to continue. We know the frustrations will come, the impediments will come. Unfortunately, the same RTI law makes provisions for, persons who are not satisfied with certain decisions to take, the next steps. We still have the option of going to the RTI Commission. And even at that point, if we are still unsatisfied with the decision of the Commission, we are at liberty to go to the High Court to seek remedy for whatever we think we disagree with. And so those options are certainly going to be explored.
Very well.
As I said, it's a matter of public interest.
Very well. Before you go on a different issue, yesterday we saw the cameras in the court when the anti-LGBTQ issue was raised in the courtroom, the Supreme Court. And that was after the Attorney General made a request to the Chief Justice to allow the cameras in. So the proceedings were live. Subsequent to that, the Attorney General said he actually wishes that we would have more of that, where there are lots more cameras in lots more courtrooms. So Ghanaians who are supposed to be in the public gallery anyway would get to be in the public gallery, but from the comfort of their homes where they are watching on their television sets or in their mobile devices. You have been quoted elsewhere saying that would be wrong. I mean, for someone who represents a media foundation or media organization, why are you opposed to something that appears to be progressive in the media space?
Well, I haven't seen where that quote is coming from, but if indeed that is what I'm quoted to have said, that then is a wrong quotation. And I'll be happy to have an audio or a transcript of whatever I may have said, which fairly and truthfully represents that.
Oh, okay.
My position was that, yes, it is important. It allows for transparency and all of that. But we also need to appreciate that we are dealing with, matter of, justice delivery. And so it isn't something that I believe right on the word go right now. We say, in the courtrooms, cameras should be there from today onwards. The Chief Justice should open up and allow cameras to be in the courtrooms without any mechanisms put in place to ensure that we do the right thing, they do the right thing. And I remember saying yesterday that I don't want a situation where eventually a lot of journalists are being hauled for contempt of court because, they'll be accused of not doing what they have to do. I don't think that I am opposed to it in principle, but I think that we have the right steps must be taken to get us there. And I made the point that nowhere in this world I don't know of anywhere in this world where all courtrooms allow cameras in. In the U.S., a number of states have allowed that. But even so, there are mechanisms in place that journalists who are in there to cover cases live must follow. And before we do that, we need to put those mechanisms in place rather than saying,
what is your fear and what are these mechanisms you're hoping should be installed? So the camera is live, everybody's watching what's happening. Why would there be an issue of contempt coming up from there when all I'm doing is to let the camera roll and people from home will watch and decide what they make of whatever they are seeing, if they were in the press gallery or the public gallery? it is the same thing they'll be seeing. I'm trying to get your exact difficulty with putting the cameras in all the courts.
I think it is important on a matter like this to look at the various arguments that people have put forward for and against a practice like that. If you take the U.S., for example, there's a history of the Supreme Court having to reverse a verdict of an appeals court on the basis that the person convicted said, because of the presence of cameras, he thinks that witnesses, behave in a way that they ordinarily would not have behaved in that same way. As a result of which he thinks that he never got a fair trial, and the Supreme Court upheld it. If you take the UK, for example, the UK Supreme Court, I mean, they also have media, and to be honest and fair, then they even have stronger media organizations in terms of capacity and all of that. But what the UK Supreme Court does is that it has by itself mounted cameras that are able to record proceedings live. And after that, you can go on the Supreme Court website. So you have UK Supreme Court Live, where you can watch proceedings, and the media can then decide to pick up whatever they want to pick. And the point I'm making is that justice delivery is quite complicated. I don't wish for a situation where this morning, for example, I think I watched a clip or read a news item which was about watch how the Chief Justice had a banter with Thaddeus Sorry, and there was a lot of back and forth. I don't think that the judiciary would want these things to happen. Those who oppose that practice say, look, cameras in the newsrooms in the courtrooms may sometimes intimidate some lawyers, may sometimes get justices to even behave differently, may sometimes get witnesses to behave differently. And Omaro, sometimes you go and interview somebody just by having a camera in front of the person, that person feels jittery and all of that. So all those are considerations that we have to avert our minds to.
Okay.
And therefore, if we are going that route, what are the steps that we have to take to ensure that we don't end up, compromising justice delivery, getting journalists into trouble because you are not supposed to do this, you are not supposed to do that, and of course, how polarized our media environment is. The partisanship and so on and so forth.
I'm not supposed to disagree with you, but I disagree with you. But thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you, Mario.
That's Suleiman Abrahima. He's Executive Director of the Media Foundation for West Africa. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Howard, what else do you have for us?
Now, the Vice President and flag bearer of the governing New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has indicated that his government will streamline the activities of small-scale miners in the country to help protect the environment. He disclosed this at the 3rd Annual Transformational Dialogue on Small-Scale Mining, organized by the University of Energy and Natural Resources in Sunyani.
So we want to formalize, as I said, the small-scale mining sector, provide licenses, and once you are able to formalize and they operate according to their licenses, then the era of seizure and burning of excavators will no longer pertain, and it will be history. We will also register all small-scale miners under the Ghana Small-Scale Miners Association. Every miner will be registered with their Ghana card so that we have unique identification of all miners. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the overarching objectives of all these policies are to usher Ghana into a golden age for the maximization of the benefits from our natural resources, like gold, lithium, bauxite, and so on, through value addition.
He had Vice President and flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia.
This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's go to Cape Coast in the Central Region. Kwabna Minta Nyako is a Member of Parliament for Cape Coast North. Honorable, you're welcome to Eyewitness News.
Thank you. The name is Kwame Minta Nyako.
Apologies. Apologies. Okay. We had that yesterday at one of your registration centers. I think that should be your only registration center. There was some skirmish.
Registration center.
Okay. I mean, for Cape Coast North and South, or just for Cape Coast North?
For North and South.
No, but I'm speaking to you as Cape Coast North MP. So at your registration...
Yes, we register some people at the assembly. The assembly is situated at Cape Coast South.
Okay.
We have people registering for Cape Coast North. And we have one center at Efutu, which is in my constituency.
Very well. We are told that there was an attack yesterday. What do you know about that? Who was injured and what happened?
Well, I also heard about it. Apparently, I was at the other center, which was with my constituency. So it was when I got back to the other area that I was told that there had been a Hulabalu fracas over there. And then the MPP parliamentary candidate was there. And then I think there was some fracas. He held one of my women organizers. And then Prudence had to take a video. I think there was an exchange. And then she wanted to take a video regarding what was happening there. And then the MPP parliamentary candidate held her neck and then took her phone away from her. And then the whole Hulabalu started at the center.
Why were they taking the video of him?
I think there was a confrontation going on, and they wanted to ensure that what was going on has been captured. And then that's what they took the video of him.
Okay, so was anybody assaulted physically in any way?
Well, I was told people there was some fracas for people held and threw blows one way or the other. But because I was not there, I can't give a vivid submission on what actually happened. But that was what I was told.
But we understand that it was rather your people who beat up one other person who is an MPP member in the constituency.
Well, I'm not privy to this information. All I knew was, all I was told was this fracas that had happened over there. And then the MPP parliamentary candidate had to leave the scene. And then that was it. That is the story that I was told. But today's phone is a different ball game altogether. I was at a Efutu station where we were doing the registration. Then when I was told that there was a fracas going on there, so I decided to go and find out and make sure that things will be calm. Only to come and meet the MPP parliamentary candidate and his entourage, all making a whole fracas all over the place. And then I intervened that we should stop. Before I could realize, so he brought in a Ford bus with a whole lot of guys coming out to attack the people that were here. And they even attacked myself and my bodyguard with cutlasses. So we had to defend ourselves and make sure that Hulabalu had to come down. So that's what happened today.
You're referring to Ekwewusi.
Yes, I'm referring to Ekwewusi. And even this evening, he's gone to the assembly office with tax. That today they are going to burn down Cape Coast, and Cape Coast is going to smell fire and so on and so forth over there. But he doesn't know what he's talking about.
What is happening? Is it that case that some wrong is happening at the registration center which he does not agree with?
I don't even understand, because here are people's kids who are just coming in to register to get their voter ID card so that, God willing, 2024, 7 December, they'll go and exercise their franchise. And I don't even know why we are here fighting and making this whole scene all over the place. All I know is that some of the machines are broken down. The entire Cape Coast, we have 6 machines that are broken down, so the system is very slow. And then normally, before 11 o'clock, we've not even started with the registration, so that also caused a delay. So you realize that after 11, that is when the machines will start working and we have to move a lot more people in. Sadly, I'm at one of the centers, and then the machine has to go up at 6, so they've closed. And now we have to make sure that all those that have not been registered will go back home and then come to a different center, God willing, tomorrow.
I see. So about how many people do they get to register every day, and about how many people are being turned away today?
It's been slow. And on the first day, we registered only 43 people. Yesterday, we registered only 13 people. And today, we've registered 120 people. So
the machines are being... Is it that the machines are not working at all, or they go off and come? What's the situation?
Yes. 6 of them have broken down, so they can't use them. They have to send it back to Accra for them to be replaced. And then the 2 that works here, they don't start early. By 11, that is when the EC will be working on the registration.
Have you tried to raise this with the EC officials in the region?
Yes, we just went for a meeting this afternoon to find out why that is happening. And they say that they've also reported the same to the headquarters, and they are looking to get the broken machines replaced. So we are also waiting to hear what the bosses will say from Accra.
Very well. Thank you so much for speaking to us, sir.
Thank you for having me.
That's Honorable Kwamina Minta Nyako. He is Cape Coast North Member of Parliament, speaking to us there. We've made efforts to reach Kwawusi, the MPP parliamentary candidate, and also some of his party executives to respond to these issues that have been raised. Unfortunately, we've not been successful. When we do, we'll let you hear their version of the story. This is Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Let's talk about other stories.
The president of the Bono Regional House of Chiefs and the Omanhene of the Doma traditional area, Osadiyeyo Ajimambedu II, has called on the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, to select an indigene from the Bono region as his running mate. Osadiyeyo Ajimambedu II made this appeal when the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, paid a courtesy call on the Bono Regional House of Chiefs in Sunyai.
I realize that you are in the process of choosing your running mate. It's about time a region comes from Bono. Most of the regions have political heads. If we are not careful and it so happens that a running mate comes from one particular region, that region will vote for you, but the rest of the regions will vote against you. As a chief in the Bono region, I will tell you we also deserve the best. I am saying that we also deserve good things to come to our region. I will also make sure we get the best. You have persons like Ignatius Bafoiwa, who you went to school with, and a host of others. You can consider him as a running mate. All I am saying is that when you decide to pick a running mate, Bono region and Bono East, we also have an interest in it.
You heard the Omanhene of the Doma traditional area, Osadiyeyo Ajimambedu II. Now, the president of the Halfa Regional House of Chiefs, Nana Ansa Eduba, has endorsed NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia for election 2024. Nana Ansa Eduba, who is also the paramount chief of the Yamfo traditional area, made the endorsement during an interactive session with the NPP flag bearer as part of his campaign tour of the Ahafo region. Nana Ansa Eduba also urged his subjects to vote massively for the NPP candidate.
Our brother, our son, our nephew, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has our support here in Ahafo. He is a man of peace. Let us go out and vote for him massively. That is all we want, and there's nothing anyone can do to change my mind.
He had President of the Ahafo Regional House of Chiefs, Nana Ansa Eduba, endorsing NPP flag bearer Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia for election 2024.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Oh, wow. KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope day.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokrom, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
You know, Papa, see that? And it's Rickety car. Hey, Papa! Bobo, so how your engine now? It is half man, half amazing. Thanks to Cause and you can feel better energy.
Can't touch this.
Actually, guys, so Sancho's engine just died like that. Yes, so somebody managed to convince him that there is a better engine oil than Quartz, and he switched. Sancho Panza. Now, which engine oil can be better than Quartz?
No other, my guy. Quartz with its age-resistant technology, it keeps your engine younger for longer.
Now you know. Have you guys seen the new bottle design? It's superb. Quartz 9000 from Total Energies there improves fuel efficiency.
Why do you think Mr. Mane and Logoso have taken the Quartz Nation movement World Cup like that?
Hey, sorry.
Chairman Omani. Chairman. Hey,
Quartz. Keep your engine younger for longer.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
It's the 3i Africa Summit, where innovation, impact, and investment converge, where technology drives transformation. From the 13th to the 15th of May 2024, heads of state, central bank governors, thought leaders, innovators, investors, academics, and entrepreneurs will converge to unleash Africa's full potential. Discover the power of digital assets, explore the state of digital growth in Africa, and unveil lessons from Africa's central bank digital currency experiments. Engage in discussions on diversity in the creative arts and tech, financing Africa's SMEs, and bridging the digital gender gap. Network with investors, pitch your ideas, and access funding at the 3i Africa Deal Room and Pitchfest. Join us at the Accra International Conference Center as we ignite a fintech revolution for Africa's financial future. Visit 3iafrica.com to register now.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. Citi Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News, brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan, make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Details of our stories now. If you ever wondered which banks offers the lowest interest rate on loans for individuals, then here it is. It's Standard Chartered Bank and GCB Bank. These were the banks that offered the best rates to customers seeking to finance personal projects through credit. Here is more from the Bank of Ghana's latest annualized percentage rate, which measured the true cost of loan after approval.
Per the data from the Bank of Ghana, individuals who sought loans with a one-year tenor from Standard Chartered Bank obtained the lowest average interest rate of 29.07%. GCB Bank Limited came in next, offering an average interest rate of 29.80%. The rates from these two banks were slightly lower than the common reference rate of 30.45% for all banks in the country. When it came to loans with a 3-year tenor, Standard Chartered Bank and GCB Bank Limited continued to dominate, offering the best rate of 25.83% and 27.27% respectively. Other banks in this category with rates lower than the reference rate included Fidelity Bank and Republic Bank. If the loan was to be extended to 5 years, Standard Chartered Bank maintained the lowest average rate of 25.83%. It was followed by Fidelity Bank, GCB Bank and Republic Bank with rates hovering between 26 and 28%. The annualized percentage rate includes the interest rate plus any other additional fees charged with the loan, and it is an important measure for borrowing from financial institutions. It helps borrowers understand the total cost of borrowing money from a bank. So if you are planning to get a credit facility for that dream home, car or personal project, the annualized percentage rate should guide your decision on which financial institution to approach.
That was a news desk report. Now, the Bank of Ghana has called for deeper collaboration with banks to enhance the financial ecosystem and address the operational challenges within the current import value chain to boost government revenue. Delivering the keynote address on behalf of the Governor of the Central Bank at a forum organized by the Ghana Association of Banks on resolving advance payment issues, the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Opoku-Afari, highlighted the prevalence of advance payment as the preferred option for Ghanaian importers due to its associated commitment advantages. Dr. Opoku-Afari also emphasized the importance of banks adhering to regulatory frameworks aimed at addressing challenges to enhance systems and operations across the financial sector.
With regards to the international trade and foreign exchange transfers, it is extremely important that said transactions are adequately backed by the requisite underlying documentations to ensure proper accounting. Supported by the relevant documentations, importers can execute transfers for trade through different payment options available under trade finance, including advance payments. Among others, the documentation process ensures proper tax accounting, curbs capital flight, and prevents illicit flows, thereby supporting a healthy AML-CFT regime. Banks, therefore, have huge responsibilities to ensure that applications for funds transfers are adequately supported by relevant documentations covering the transactions and adheres to the dictates of Act 723 and all relevant BOG notices.
Dr. Maxwell Opoku-Afari is the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana. Some 4,000 business executives from about 80 countries are set for the maiden 3i Africa Summit, which seeks to drive digitalization and technology in the financial sector to enhance inclusion. The three-day summit, to be hosted by Ghana, is an initiative by the Bank of Ghana, Development Bank Ghana and the Monetary Authority of Singapore, and allow participants to deliberate on ideas in creating a sound and safe financial system. It will bring together thousands of sector players who will proffer pragmatic ways of harnessing digital resources to bolster the financial and economic landscape on the continent. Head of FinTech and Innovation at the Bank of Ghana, Kwame Opon, has been speaking on the Citi Breakfast Show ahead of the summit on Monday.
Our convening authority provides us the opportunity to bring these key stakeholders together so our local innovators can engage with investors from the global investment community. Also, we're providing an opportunity through as a special sandbox cohort that we've created. So some registered exhibitors during this conference have actually applied and they are in our sandbox. And interestingly, when all those people come from around the world, once they download the app and go through the process, they can actually download these innovators' products. And when they download these products from the exhibiting innovators, they can use it to make payments and services for services in there. The themes under the conference are quite interesting. So we're obviously looking at things like artificial intelligence and the role it plays. And I think often when we make such references, people assume it's all about tech. No. I mean, when you look at your phones, your laptops, your entire life, AI is playing a role somewhere. And so how do we really ensure that as consumers, for instance, you are protected from any abuse, but on the other hand as well, that these same AI tools can be utilized to benefit, for instance, MSMEs to be able to access loans, for instance, without collateral. We want to see how we can identify what the opportunities are so we can help ourselves as a continent pursue it, but on the other hand as well, identify what the challenges and constraints are so that we can address them.
That was Head of FinTech and Innovation at the Bank of Ghana, Kwame Opon. Now, the 3i Africa Summit stands as a groundbreaking global gathering, uniting leaders from government, business, investors, and academia in a collective effort to deliberate and collaborate on unleashing the continent's digital economic potential, empowered by FinTech. It will be held from Monday, 13th May to Wednesday, May 15, 2024 at the Accra International Conference Center. It's under the theme Unleashing Africa's FinTech and Digital Economic Potential. And that's it for City Business News on Eyewitness News. The business news on Eyewitness News is brought to you by GCB Bank PLC. GCB Personal Loan. Make that big move and dream a reality. My name is Hawa Idrisu Mustafa. Up next is Point Blank.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Hey, KB, aka Kubeboga, now drives a Bugatti. He can even travel by road from Accra to London. Wow. KB's source of wealth is agriculture. Yes, coconut business. After losing his bank job, he started supplying coconuts at events. Now, he owns large coconut plantations and employs many young people. Charlie, we all need to trust the process, because hope day.
There has never been a better time to enter into agribusiness. Take a bold step today with the Ghana Grows program, because every step pays. Ejuma Wokro, Ghana Grows, Hope Day, an initiative of the MasterCard Foundation in partnership with Springboard Roadshow Foundation and Limehouse.
There are some classy celebrations that calls for whipping out your favorite China sets. Same goes for your luxury vehicle. Just any engine oil won't do. Premium understands premium best. The new Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties is the one for your premium car. It's a fully synthetic motor oil designed using the Shell Pure Plus technology. Prevents dirt buildup with exceptional cleaning power, leaving your pistons cleaner than a whistle, up to 50% more than the industry standard, and gives you stronger, long-lasting engine performance. So, if you want your classic car to run smoothly like a Ferrari for years to come, use the Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP with carbon neutral properties. Shell Helix Ultra 0W20 SP, designed for ultimate engine performance.
It's the 3i Africa Summit, where innovation, impact, and investment converge, where technology drives transformation. From the 13th to the 15th of May 2024, heads of state, central bank governors, thought leaders, innovators, investors, academics, and entrepreneurs will converge to unleash Africa's full potential. Discover the power of digital assets, explore the state of digital growth in Africa, and unveil lessons from Africa's central bank digital currency experiments. Engage in discussions on diversity in the creative arts and tech, financing Africa's SMEs and bridging the digital gender gap. Network with investors, pitch your ideas, and access funding at the 3i Africa Deal Room and Pitchfest. Join us at the Accra International Conference Center as we ignite a fintech revolution for Africa's financial future. Visit 3iafrica.com to register now.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
News. My name is Umaru Sandama. Tonight on Point Blank, we are talking about the People's National Convention from the People's National Party. Dr. Hila Liman's PNP and now PNC. My guest has been in fact, one of the famous faces of the PNC on the media scene and indeed on the national executive space. I knew him from when he was youth organizer progressed to be general secretary, went to an election, became chairman. Right now, he wants to be flag bearer. Bernard, I can't mention your middle name.
Ambatayela.
Bernard Ambatayela Mona. PNC. In fact, I didn't add that you also contested WA Central and it was unsuccessful. Good evening and welcome to Point Blank.
It's a delight to always be with you. And I can see that you've put on some weight.
Small one.
Because the Umar standard that we used to do all the things with is now an adult.
I'm growing. I'm growing. Very soon I'll retire.
Age is telling on all of us.
But I don't have a grey beard like you. So
no, don't worry about that. Yeah. When you get to the luminous summits, the grey will come.
So I should pray for that.
No, it's not a bad idea to have grey.
I'm praying to get
in fact,
there.
some people actually go to buy sprays and other things to get grey. And so when it comes naturally, you must accept it.
Some also buy dye to hide the grey.
I know a lot of them.
Don't mention any names. I don't want any trouble on my shoulders. I beg you. Because
I was just going to do the same.
Don't do because I know very prominent people who do that.
I was going to mention them by
Please
their
don't
names.
do I beg you.
No, but they love it when they also dye their grey.
Don't leave it.
So they can look sexy and young.
Mr. Mona.
Yes, boss.
Please leave it.
I have left
Let's
it.
talk about you. We said that we have done multi-party democracy. We want so many parties to be involved. And yet, apart from the NDC and MPP, the rest of you, hope no day. It's like you are small and there's infighting. Recently, your party between Janet Nabila, Bernard Apasera, with all of that now, they've broken away, created a new party. Is it worth being part of these small parties? You tell me. You've been part of this for 2 decades or so.
First and foremost, let me thank you for the opportunity to be here and to also appreciate your many viewers and then listeners across the group, and to insist that I did not come to this earth to just follow the crowd. I came to the earth to chart a path that the crowd may see as the solution to the problems that we face, and the crowd will turn and follow me. And so I have come in various attacks from many people that join one of the so-called established political parties, your shows, lament about the decay in our political space, particularly under the Fourth Republican Constitution. And your lamentations is about what the NDC has failed to do that has led to the economic decline, and what the MPP is doing that has indeed
buried the economy,
so to say. And then you somersault and say that join one of them. So you want us to perpetually have no economy, because what it means is that you are asking me to come and be part of the problem of this nation and not to chart a path to lead to the redemption of this nation. And so it is that edge that, look, if the NDC has failed us and then MPP is leading us totally out of the road, why would anybody insist that go and join them, except the case that you have just mentioned, that join them, loot, make money, steal, be better off and then be praised by the churches and the mosque because you are able to donate to them, and then you are good to go. Aside that, if we want to do service for our nation, we want to bring about avalanche of job opportunities for our young. We want to create the opportunities for our industry players. We want to ensure that the Ghanaian entrepreneur can match toe-to-toe to the Western entrepreneurs, to the Eastern entrepreneurs. Then you need a new brand. And you cannot follow that crowd and expect that something will change. And that there's a popular saying that if you continue to do something repeatedly, you don't expect different results. And that is how come that the people of Ghana have not obtained any results, apart from the fact that you vote NDC out, you bring MPP in, you vote MPP out, you vote NDC in. And so the manner in which we continue to do this will tell us that the results will not be any different.
So if you believe in strong personalities, then consider this scenario. So one person has a Peugeot, the 504. This other person has an Opel Vectra. they are all going to the same destination. You have a bicycle, and I'm referring to you being PNC, having a bicycle, and consistently you've been struggling. These two vehicles keep arriving in time. Why don't you hop off your bicycle and join either the Peugeot or the
Maybe
Vectra?
we have to throw away the bicycle and mount a horse.
Okay, so that you can also get there ultimately and fix what you think is a problem. But for now, you want to fix a problem, but you will not get a mandate because of the vehicle you are using. So my advice to you is that why don't you join the vehicle that is
mandate?
Are you sure? It doesn't look like it.
Umar, I think that it is the excitement of my becoming the next president of Ghana that prompted you to remember me, to be in the studio.
It is my excitement of being fair and balanced to all media.
For a considerable time, you've not even remembered me. But
because you were drinking pito in your village and climbing horses and chewing dog
and
head.
it is the same village that I was when you called me.
I know.
So that could not have been an excuse for your not inviting me. Why? I've done several media and continue to do several media. And I've seen you do Zoom interviews and what have you. So it didn't.
No, your village doesn't have internet. Sankana,
don't underestimate.
Pronounce the name.
Sankana.
Sankana. There's no internet.
No, we do have.
You sure?
That is how come that you were able to call.
You don't have to climb a tree to receive a call.
In fact, if you go to Kuri, then you need to hang your phone on a tree. But within Sankana, you have.
But you are mostly at Kuri because you go to your farm in that hood.
No.
Are you sure?
No, my farm is in Gudairi.
Okay.
And I am in the Nadoli Kaliu district, but the farm is in Gudairi.
Interesting. But let's go back to the strength of political parties. So, okay, you believe that your party is a strong vehicle that you can use to land the Jubilee
For
House.
the fact that we have been resilient, for the fact that despite all the travails that we have been through, the PNC has lived from the 27th of July, 1992 to date. It tells you that there is resilience.
But you've lived and left no mark. Look, you had as many as 4 MPs in the past, or was it 3? CPP had, I think, 3, and you had 4.
Yeah.
You lost every MP.
Would you mind if I make the statement so
Please,
that you appreciate it?
Please make it.
Over the years, considerably, we've had MPs in Parliament. Some of them did well. Some were just those who went to add to numbers in Parliament.
They were only 4. I wish you could mention the ones who went to add to numbers.
Oh, no, Ndeburi was in Parliament.
He didn't go to add to numbers.
No, I'm saying Ndeburi. I'm mentioning the numbers.
Okay.
Ndeburi was in Parliament.
Yes.
You had David Pasara was in Parliament. You have Moses Daniban was in Parliament. Alhazan Azon was in Parliament. Honorable Haruna Bayiriga was in Parliament.
I think Bayiriga was...
Okay,
so you didn't mean it in a derogatory tone.
No.
Okay, that's fine.
No. But
proceed.
I'm talking about the ECOWAS as an institution itself,
Okay,
let alone its parliament.
Okay.
I'm not talking about the personality.
You are pro-Niger. You continue. You are pro-Niger and Guinea, but continue.
So which of the Nigers are you talking about?
No, the one...
Chiani or Bazoum?
That is all this. You are an international affairs student too. So, what's your point with those MPs of yours?
I'm saying that some of them distinguished themselves in Parliament. You cannot discount the role that Ndeburu played in the shaping of policies, programs in Parliament.
Yesterday, by the way, was his 2nd anniversary since he died.
Well, I didn't remember that.
I saw his son share that.
Yeah. So clearly, you know that Ndeburu was not a pushover in the Parliament. But the others, probably they were too shy, and they also acquiesced to this division.
Election in this country, and
yes,
that you are the one who
can... 2024 elections.
You believe this?
Why? You doubt it?
Yes, I do.
No, don't doubt.
Because I haven't seen any sign, because the PNC, the Kobe, the coconut pod was broken by a coconut seller with a machete just a few weeks ago around Abavana Junction, and out of it came palm nuts.
I remember that there was Be Bold.
Nana Konedo Ajima Rollins.
Very good. And they broke away.
How many people went?
No, I said they broke away. So you start counting the number of people. They broke away. The NDC won elections.
2012.
Yeah, and I also remember that there was the Afoko, the Samikrap, there was the Kwabena Ajapong that were broken from the MPP.
National executives.
They won elections.
2016.
Right? So why do you think that if a portion of you is broken, you are not capable of mending yourself?
Because the party that had Konedo Ajiman Rawlings leave it at the time had about 4 million registered voters. MPP in 2016 had about 4 or 5 million. Tell me the number.
If you go outside of Africa, you can talk about Macron.
Yes.
And many others that just sprang up.
But a good evening is usually seen in the morning. Your morning looks bleak.
But I'm coming. You never had interviewed me. You have not seen the groundswell. You've not seen the mobilization.
But you see, you may be a good driver. I've known you for more than a decade, Bernard.
And you're a great guy. You never doubt my capacity. You never doubt my commitment to any project that I set my eye on.
But I doubt the vehicle you intend to use.
I'm saying that. Why? You wanted me to go independent?
No.
So
I'm just saying
that the NDC and
Ghana,
MPP are not an option.
But people
and
vote
I can
for
tell
parties.
you, my son is qualified to vote this time round.
Okay.
And I know the friends and his cycles that are simply dissatisfied with the things they have seen. And
they are following Cheddar instead of PNC. Do you know that?
Oh, because Cheddar is a declared presidential candidate.
Because Cheddar appeals to them more
I'm
than
saying that Cheddar is a declared presidential candidate. And when I'm declared presidential candidate, then they will begin to match. What have I done? What has John done that your history is obsolete?
Okay.
You should have known that I stopped contesting for Wa Central after the 2012 elections.
Yeah,
and
but my
I moved
point
to
is that
Nadoli Kaleo constituency just to update your records.
Okay. Yes, forgive me. You went against Purple
so that
and you went
update.
Against Bagbin. Apologies.
Yes. So
I remember the Wa Central more than I remember the
I can update you that you are obsolete in your thoughts.
I apologize.
So that notwithstanding, go and check the tremendous gains I made for the PNC and for myself in any contest that I have been through as an individual. And I have insisted that probably I'm not good enough to be an MP for a constituency, but I'm more than good enough to be the president of the nation.
Talk to me about that. Why does Bernard Mona want to be president?
There are many reasons, because I see that first and foremost, the greed of our leadership has collapsed our economy and actually bled the future of our nation. I've also seen that because of lack of courage, our leaders have acquiesced to policies and programs from Western and Bretton Woods institutions that tend to undermine our forward growth as a nation. Thirdly, I also see that it appears that sometimes we went to school and we only learn not to come and apply what we have learned within the confines of our environment. So you actually don't have it. I mean, you see it, right? You calculate it as part of your growth. Soon after that, it is taken away. So any rational leader will begin to ask, why is it that all the time we see growth and that growth is not reflecting? Then you move away from using gross domestic product as a determinant of the health of your economy to gross national product. And when you do that, then you get to realize that, gross national product is just a paltry representation of what we have. So you begin to fashion out policies that will ensure that indigenous Ghanaians will take control of the commanding heights of the economy. That is where you begin to know that instead of going to take loans and come and pay foreign contractors, you need to pay the Ghanaian born today in Libya. Under Gaddafi, you started owning. You were not owing.
You're owning.
I understand. So these are things that I think that our leaders are not courageous to confront, and I want to confront them.
Bernard,
and when I do so, Umar, your life will be better. The future of your children will be guaranteed.
You are speaking like the Nkrumahs that you are, but do you not think that the whole idea of nationalizing that horse perhaps has long bolted, and that it should start thinking on different lines? That
we have
denationalized
for how long? From 1966. We denationalized. Tell me that horse has stayed within the manage.
It's also gone. Yeah, but
tell me how sensible it is.
But
you sitting here, tell me how sensible it is for you to come and sell Ghana Airways, that the aviation sector is not profitable, but you have money, or you go and borrow money and be building airports for whose planes to be landed for what benefit? So in few days' time, President Akufo-Addo will be going to Kumasi to commission an international airport. You don't have a plane. So when you commission that international airport, planes will actually come from Togo. Planes will, Askaya will come from Togo. Air Cote d'Ivoire will come. Air Burkina will come.
Air Peace.
Air Peace will come. They will come and land, and they'll be making profit out of what you have gone to borrow money to come and do. Does that make sense to you?
We charge them for landing and all of those things.
You are a scandal. To think that you construct airports, that people's planes come and land, and you charge them, and you cannot have own planes.
There's a view that owning a plane is not. That's just
Omar,
you're just thinking
Omar,
of more patriotism. You want to see your flag in the air,
let
but
me
it
put it this way.
benefit you.
Omar,
anyway.
you own Citi FM, this premises.
Amen.
Then all of a sudden, you have employed a cleaner to clean the area, and the cleaner is not doing well. The place is filthy. So your solution to ensuring that the place is not filthy is that you sell off Citi FM. You are so intelligent indeed.
You are wearing a red beret, characteristic of people like Julius Malema, and recently is it EFF, the one that your comrade from the CPP who has also broken away, Ernesto Yeboah. You people are in the same group. Why didn't you use that vehicle? And I'm still interested in your vehicle. Are you an EFF person or a PNC person?
I'm a PNC person.
But you are doing EFF?
I'm not doing EFF. I mean, Beret did not originate with Julius Malema. In fact, Julius Malema, by age and by political experience and exposure, is my kid brother.
Okay. So, I mean, I know I have an idea where the beret is coming from. I'm just saying that recently he's the one who may have popularized it.
I doubt that. I mean, you can't have the likes of Che Guevara. You can't have Amilcar Cabral. You can't talk about Hugo Chavez. And then you come and limit it to my kid brother, Julius Malema. He's a fantastic Africanist, and I admire him.
Why are you wearing it, by the way?
I think that all the people that have worn berets are upright people. They are straightforward people, and they speak to the world the way the world must understand and listen. They speak passionately about the development of their societies.
So they inspire you?
And to the extent that if you come to my office, you will see the collection of my heroes. I don't know why you don't want to come to the office.
I'll come to which of the offices, though? Because
my personal office is at Asylum Down.
Okay. When is your election?